Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is for Donald John Trump's Sunday, November 1st, 2020. Okay, so tuning in, grounding in. Okay, the health of his body and the forces in motion, his challenges, his emotional body, lymphatic system, connective tissue, and how he's feeling. Mental body, nervous system, and what he's thinking. His karma that is hanging over him. What he's doing, and his future. Okay, and with the tarot, health of his body, his challenges, emotional body, mental body, his karma that's hanging over him, what he's doing, and his future. What lies will he be telling today? Okay, so forces in motion, we have the Emperor reversed. And this is also the health of his body. So, of course with the Emperor, you know, when it's straight up, this is like father energy. Mars in Aries. It has to do with being present and moving forward. Of your own accord, under your own authority. When it's reversed, he's not in his authority. He comes from, you know, the wounding from his family, from his father and mother. He comes from his childhood wounding because he has not done his work to process, you know, his painful past, and therefore he's spinning in that, in all those dualistic splits inside of him, you know, all this either or, either I'm good or I'm bad, either I'm right or I'm wrong, you know, there's no and anywhere in between, either I'm winning or I'm losing. Well, you know, it's not how life works. But so anyway, but that's where he spins, that's where he's torn in two, in vicious circles inside of him. So, on a health level, we're in the realm of injuries, and, you know, he's lashing out. There's you know, lots of struggle and lots of fighting. And of course, because, you know, because it's Mars and Aries, that's the head and the face. It also brings in the you know, just the, you know, excessive rigidity that he's in. He's always in that. He's just a rigid. He's a very rigid guy. He hasn't healed. He's just he's locked up inside. Is all I have to say. And then of course, you know, because it is the upper part of the body, this could be, you know, his jaw and things like that. We could be dealing with like TMJ, things like that. And then also, you know, with Mars and Aries, I have to remember, I always have to remember, that rules the blood. So, his blood isn't doing well. I would imagine that he's very toxic. His challenge with the Empress, and this is, you know, Venus, and rules Taurus and Libra, of course. So his challenge is the feminine. His challenge is that he's not creating healthy reality. He's not creating from the laws of love. So therefore truth won't come through him, and he has no access to his wisdom. You know, his higher self is just so shrouded, you know, with the darkness of his soul, because he hasn't moved forward this lifetime at all. Okay, so emotional body, Well, with the Ace of Swords, which is all air signs, uh, he's cutting, he's biting, he wants to go out there and say that he knows all, and you have to follow him, or or you're gonna, the world's gonna go to hell. He's insane. He's literally insane. So on a health level too, this could put you in that area of, accidents. But at the very least, he's using excessive force. So he's very, emotionally aggressive. He's really in that place where he needs to be right and needs to win. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, so, and mentally, well, with the Justice card, he's thinking about how he can get Bill Barr, and this is Venus in Libra, how he can get Bill Barr to join forces with him, or any other, these are all the stacking the courts, trying to get the judges, he's thinking about that. But he's also thinking about, they've done that. But he's also thinking about legal cases coming down on him, because they are. I read somewhere that he might be the first president to go straight from the White House to jail. Yeah, if he lives that long. The karma that's hanging over him with the Seven of Pentacles, but of course it's reversed. This is Saturn and Taurus. So, you're evaluating, you're reevaluating, you're wondering if your investments will pay off. Well, when it's reversed, nope, they won't. The answer is no, they will not. Okay, and what he's doing with the Eight of Swords, it's Jupiter and Gemini straight up. Well, I wonder, what he's doing, he's trying to release himself from something. Oh, I forgot to go, I'm sorry, I just skated right over the health issue for the Justice card, so I'll go through these really quickly. So on a health level, the nervous system with the Justice card, this has to do with kidneys, lower back, because of course it's, Libra. And Venus can sometimes have us joining in, trying to get inside of pleasure. But for him, he doesn't know what pure positive pleasure is. He only knows about negative pleasure, and so he probably would go towards more of that. So physically, this can have to do with sugar imbalances, like insulin issues. Diabetes, there's that very real possibility there. Maybe even having some lower back problems. Okay, and then with with Saturn and Taurus and the Seven of Pentacles reversed, well, this could be, well, I get because of Saturn and Taurus, I get that feeling like what's hanging over him is more feelings of lack inside, like an inner lack that he can't seem to heal, that fear of not having enough. So this could cause him to overeat, this could cause him to overuse anything, and then because Taurus is here, Saturn is always about lessons. Decisions and tests and lessons, and you're trying to master an area of your life, wherever Saturn is natally in your chart or transiting through as well. We're mastering something, we're trying to. He hasn't worked to get any of his lessons, so it's the same old, it's like frustration and feeling like he's not enough, and it could, because of Taurus here, it could have to do with neck problems and TMJ, because Taurus rules like the fifth, that whole area around the jaw. And it can be part of the fifth chakra in that it's connected to the olfactory glands and, you know, so sensory, real sensory issues. And of course, you know, Taurus rules the skin as well. So I don't think he's doing well. And of course that karma is hanging over him. You know, he's just, this has, I think, part of his impulse control disorder, you know, his OCDs. I think that's in there. He's, the karma that's hanging over him just generally is that, you know, he's not going to be successful. And there's, you know, a real limitation with Saturn there in the whatever, you know, investments that he's put himself into. Now, with the future, and if we still stick along with the health, with, you know, with the Eight of Swords, and then that being, of course, Jupiter and Gemini, this is a respiratory issue. The Gemini rules the lungs. And Jupiter can expand things and create problems. So this is connective tissue, so this falls back to here, you know, like maybe lots of little razor blades still going through his, you know, organs and lymphatic system from the coronavirus. And if any of you are out there still believing that he didn't get it, he did. And I know that because I've done readings on him every day since July, and I saw it coming. Saw when it hit. So believe what you want, but I'm convinced that he did have it, and he may still have it in his system, and he's not even at the 30-day mark, and I don't know how he's getting away with testing, because I think he's still shedding the virus, and I believe he's still contagious. He's a super spreader himself. He is the virus himself. So, you know, nervous system, Gemini, nervous system, you know, like I said, respiratory, lungs, connective tissue illnesses, veins, arteries, nerves. And then on another level, it's really sad because he's focused on his self-image only. He hasn't released himself from, you know, from that constraint that every human being needs to go through on some level or at some time in their lives to move to a new level that, you know, that says, I have myself and I don't care what other people think about me. He has not gotten that at 75 years old or 74 years old, pushing 75. He's not going to get it this lifetime unless he does a lot of really deep, hard work in the next several years. But I don't even know if he's going to make it that far. Okay, so let me make sure I can fit everything here. His future, well, there's a sad past that's going to come forward. This straight up would be like a reunification of pleasure of some type. Reversed, it's not. It's ruled by, you know, Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, and it's all about the past. It's all about childhood wounding and trauma. And that's his future. So what's coming towards him on a health level, this has to do with like seeking pleasure with just no regard, because it's reversed, like no regard for you know, the consequences in the future, and trying to escape pain. And it's very, you know, unrealistic, and this, you know, this indicates needing to mature emotionally. But he's stuck in the past. So here it is. In the future, he's stuck in the past. Oh my God. Okay. You know, I mean, what else can I say? And the past always comes forward until you heal it. That's why, you know, history repeats itself. Our personal history keeps coming forward until we heal it, until we, you know, take the positive energy of Scorpio and transform the pain. And he has run from that all his life because he thinks that money is the only thing that matters. So it's very, very sad. Okay, so let's layer the Lenormand. Okay, so with the little kitty card, it has to do, and I have nothing against, this is nothing at all against cats. But the meaning of this card is selfishness. So I just have to go with that. So all of his problems have to do with his narcissism and his psychopathy. His challenge will just continue to repeat and repeat and repeat. So he can't move forward, creating something new, because he needs to go back to the past and heal the pain, feel the pain. You can't heal anything without feeling the pain, and he needs to, keep working at that. But because he's always in battle mode, I think that this has to do with the powerful forces of the feminine within each one of us that says, I don't want to receive this guy. I can't stand receiving this kind of energy anymore. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot listen to his voice. So, if I get comments about, have you heard what he said or did I? No, I did not, because I can't take it. And I haven't been able to for the longest time. I have to get it through the, written news. Because if he comes on the news and is speaking, I fast forward. I can't take it, and I record everything so that I can do that. Okay, so with the emotional body, well, he's wanting to change. He's feeling like he wants to make some new choices. He's needing to make new choices. On a health level, that has to do with, the circulatory system, and needing to get, it's also the arteries and the veins. I mean, you can just imagine, like on a health level, because you can see all the little inroads. But it also has to do with needing to get, like a second opinion. Of course, he needs a different doctor, right? Different doctors. Mentally, he just wants to roar and spout out his hot air and his pride, his unhealthy ego, full of pride, unhealthy pride, is just on full display. Karmically, he has to suffer a loss, because that is his destiny, because he hasn't gone to the place that he needs to go in order to heal his soul. So he has to be minimized in some way, humiliated in some way, and he has to lose in many ways, because he just has to. Because his entire persona and self-image is bent on, I'm the winner, I'm the guy, everything's bigly and huge. Remember all that? Well, sorry, but that comes from a huge distortion of ego, and that is not coming from your true sense of authority and who you truly are inside. Because if you have a healthy ego, you surrender it to your higher self, and your higher self tells you what to do and what not to do, and you step aside and wait for answers. You don't just plow ahead like he does his entire life. I mean, remember that time when he pushed himself ahead. I don't know if it was at I forget. I can't remember where he was, but it was with a lot of other foreign dignitaries, and he pushed himself ahead of the president of Montenegro, and the guy kind of like stepped back and laughed like, oh, okay, buddy. But then Trump pushes himself through, puts his head up like he's superior, and then pulls both sides of his coat like like that, like I'm somebody. That's what he's been doing all his life. And it's a facade, because deep down inside he feels very, very insecure, and that's why he has to push himself forward like that. Anybody that does that and they talk about how great they are all the time, deep down inside they're very wounded, and they're in like a 2 or 3 or 8-year-old place. I suspect he's also constantly reenacting that 13-year-old place when he got sent away to military school, because of course his parents couldn't handle him anymore. Okay, so in the department of what he's doing, he's lying. He's lying online. These are ads that lie, that he has endorsed about Joe Biden. These are lies that are widespread all over the internet. And he is also a super spreader himself. In the future, well, now on a health level, something can spread. On a health level, there's loss and toxicity with this one. On a health level with this one, this is the lymphatic system and the immune system. So in the future, it can be that there's well, let's see. You know what? I don't need to guess. Let's draw some more cards and get inside of, is this a health issue, or is this him, excuse me, trying to get more partners, you know, or a partner, somebody to, you know, hang in there with him. What is this about? Yeah, financial partners of the legal system. So he's working with attorneys, and he's trying to, well, here, actually, let's do it this way. So problems from the past are coming back to haunt him, and he's trying to get partnerships with people to financially back him and legally back him so that he can stay in the White House. And so that he doesn't lose his, you know, what he thinks is his family fortune. But his brand is shot already. Okay, so will he be successful? I think not, because we have loss up here. But let me draw a couple more cards. This is the law coming down on him. Well, he could be successful in some ways, and then in other ways something will be revealed about money that he has spent in the past. Okay. Oh, about money that he is, maybe money that he has taken. Yeah, from a long time ago too. So maybe something more will come through about Deutsche Bank. Now with the birds, that makes me feel like something more from Bob Woodward's tapes. You know, because so far what we know is that he wanted the coronavirus to be, you know, hidden and pushed down. And then, of course, Jared's on tape with Bob Woodward as well. Like, who knew that Bob Woodward interviewed Jared? And probably if he interviewed Jared, he must have interviewed others. So maybe secrets from other family members are going to come out. You know, because I guess Jared, because Jared was put in charge. He was put in charge of the coronavirus task force. Can you believe that? And then, of course, he's on tape saying that, oh yeah, they freed America from the scientists, and they're getting the country back from the doctors. Wow. Okay. So Jared is a whole lot dumber than I ever thought. I mean, I always figured he was not wise, because of all the darkness that he has, you know, accomplished in his short little lifetime so far. But I had no idea he was that dumb. So, wow. Okay, well, I feel complete with this. Don't really know what else to add on. Other than, well, I'll just repeat, I believe that something else is going to come out about from those tapes, because we have it verbal here. And we have in his, what he's doing, this has to do with the internet. So being on tape, that can spread all over the internet. Okay. So, yeah, and he may, he may have some success getting money in from his loyal, followers who are, they don't realize they're just drinking the Kool-Aid. They're literally under the influence of a cult monster. I mean, anybody to put any politician or anybody in any, any of them. We should never, ever, ever be putting anybody on a pedestal. We should be, tuned into our own inner authority. And there's no need to put anybody on a pedestal. I mean, just look at celebrities. They're just like us. They're just like us, but they do something else for a living that makes them famous. So maybe the star card up here is about him trying to be famous, and he's stuck in that place where he's just, it's all about fame for him, because of course he's an attention whore. Yeah. Okay. So challenges, when you put a person up on a pedestal, you lose yourself. When you give people more power than you give yourself, you lose yourself. So his followers need to learn that someday. Okay, for us. Yay, for us. Okay. What else? What do we need to know to help us get through? Boy, we're almost there. We're so close. Couple more days, and then who knows, it might be a week before we know who's actually president after that. But I think we're going to know how things fall for, all the Senate, races and the states, everything that's in the states. We should know about that. Koi fish spirit, there's always enough. That's right, because the love is always there. We just have to tune into it. The dove spirit says to be peace. Be in peace. Well, love and peace are an intrinsical, love, peace, and power are an intrinsic, that's who we are. We each are a unique emanation of love, power, and peace. Okay, lizard spirit says dream the world into being. All right, so it's time. It's time for us to go to that peaceful place inside and imagine life after the election when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in charge, and we have other people supporting them like Elizabeth Warren. And there are new law, and Nancy Pelosi has already had, I mean, there's so much that's in place that's like just ready to go in once the Senate is blue. Just imagine the blue water, even though this is turquoise, but imagine, because this is a watery card, it's fish and it's koi in the water. Imagine blue. Imagine everything, a blue Senate, blue, we already have a blue Congress, blue Senate. And imagine limitations on presidential powers that Joe Biden has signed, that Nancy Pelosi has already created. Or actually, I don't have the, wait, hold on. Maybe, hold on. No, it was the House Democrats. The House, okay, so this came out from Washington Post, and I printed it out because it's like, I just had to have it near me. House Democrats unveil reforms to prevent future presidential abuses. So this happened on September 23rd of this year, and it's a package of reforms designed to strengthen the Congress's ability to check the executive branch and prevent abuses of power, especially by the president. So, of course, these are all like post-Trump reforms. It's with how they're... even safeguarding against foreign election interference, protections for whistleblowers. So anyway, the corrections are in place. They're going into play, or they will be, enacted and gone and put into place once once this election's over and everything is the way it should be. So we just have to sit and imagine that that's what's happening, and we can dream, we can imagine this world into being, we can envision, we can meditate and visualize and feel what that feels like, and that's how we create a whole new reality. Anything that you want to, manifest, you have to imagine it first, and then of course do the follow-through. Like, we all have to vote for these people to, to keep them in power so that they can keep enacting the laws. It's like Sheldon Whitehouse and Elizabeth Warren, Katie Porter, all of the people who are trying to protect us. We need to support them in any way that we can. But just sitting, if we only do it 5 minutes a day, I mean, honestly, we should be doing it at least 20 minutes a day, but we need to sit and be in that, where imagine that there are many, many people like Katie Porter, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and Sheldon Whitehouse especially, and that we are going to be cleaning things up so we can be at peace. But of course, we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we have to visualize that reality before we can enjoy it. Okay, well, I think that's more than enough for today. I'm going to close this up, and I'll be back for Monday's reading later on. Thank you.